Hey guys, this is Justin at the Survivor Review, and today we'll be talking about Episode 2 of Season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead, titled The Morgue. Now, this episode isn't that plot heavy and doesn't move the story forward too much, but it's still going to go down in history as one of the best episodes of the show and one of the most memorable things of the Evil Dead franchise, mostly due to just one insane scene that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So this episode picks up right where the last one left off, with Ruby now joining the group, and they head back to Ash's home. There, Ruby tells them where the Book of the Dead is hidden, and it's hidden inside a corpse in a morgue. So still not trusting Ruby, they leave Pablo with Ruby, because Pablo wants to get answers from her, from what's going on inside his head and why he's seeing all this crazy stuff. And while that's going on, Ash and Kelly sneak into the morgue to go find the Book of the Dead. And that's where things get crazy, because you have Ash inside the morgue just cutting open these bodies with a chainsaw, trying to find which one has the Book of the Dead. And of course, the last corpse he gets to ends up already having his chest ripped open, with a perfect line from Ash just like, "Come on, Ash, look first before you cut." It's perfect. And then what happens after that goes very over the top and just into an insane level that the Evil Dead series hasn't really gone to yet. Basically, Ash gets sucked up the asshole of a corpse through into the cut open chest, and is being attacked by these little tentacle things while having a dead body shoved down him, just flailing around in just this insane manner. And that scene was just, oh my god, that scene just, Jesus, was just nuts and insane, and one of the most memorable moments of the Evil Dead series. It just has that blend of Evil Dead 2 style humor, but pushing it over the edge like completely to just insanity. And that was the highlight of this episode for sure. Just pure craziness, and my god, I loved it. It was perfect. It was perfect Evil Dead, just zaniness, just insane. And while that's going on, Pablo and Ruby are in Ash's room, and Pablo's trying to get answers from her. But of course, Ruby overpowers him, and basically just turns the tide on him and asking him, like, what is going on with you? Like, explain this to me so we can figure this out. Ruby seems a bit more sympathetic, like she actually is trying to help. She's not being like a bad guy in this, which I think is really cool, and I think is like a really cool expansion of her character. That she's not just a one-dimensional bad guy just trying to keep the demons in line. She actually really cares about his characters and wants to find out what's up with him, and also that'll help out with what's going on with this entire thing. And then also what's going on, we find out that this character who we saw go into Ash's house with his dad is actually a Deadite in disguise. So after that whole crazy-ass scene in the morgue where that happens, Kelly also has an encounter with the sheriff who we saw in the previous episode. She knocks him out. They go back to the house. And of course, right as they get back is when that Deadite is attacking Ruby and Pablo in the room in this really fun sequence. And then Ash and Kelly come in right as Ruby takes out the Deadite, which of course leads to the great line after Ash's room has been completely destroyed, and he goes, "Hey, what did I say about not touching my stuff?" Just perfect. But there's also a lot of interesting things in this episode, like the fact that Pablo keeps having these premonitions about stuff. And the last premonition he has in this episode is him being tied up by Ruby and her slitting his throat. So I was like, what is that? What is that going to lead to? That was a really intriguing thing. I did not expect that. And then you do get to see more of Ash's dad, who's just like a dirty old man. I mean, you kind of got a hint of that in the last episode about being just like, call me cock and stuff like that, but he is a really dirty old man, and he is hilarious, and I can't wait to see more of him as the season progresses, because you can tell he's probably going to be finding out that this whole demon stuff is actually real after having one getting killed in the upstairs of his house. Also, another thing I liked was the scene where Ash and Pablo and Kelly are going to his room, and on the way there they come across Ash's sister's room, Cheryl, from the first film, and you see flashbacks from the first film of that, and you see that Ash is really affected by that. And then, of course, you know, Kelly makes a little LSD joke, because he kind of is, like, spacing out, and you can just tell that Ash is actually legitimately serious. At that time, he's kind of like, oh, yeah, sure, and he's still kind of affected by that. And that's, like, a side of Ash you don't normally see, just, like, an actual legit serious Ash. So you could tell that the death of his sister in the first film really affected him. And I like that connection to the first film, but I also like that little bit of character where he actually is serious at one point. So I thought that was really good. This episode is just a lot of fun and doesn't really do a whole lot with the story, because the real plot of this episode is them just going to get the Book of the Dead. But I actually like that. I thought they did kind of expand the story a bit more than, say, episodes in the first season. Which every episode in the first season just seemed like, let's try to get rid of the evil. Like I mentioned in the last video, the plot of this one seems to be more focused and actually have a clear line of where it's trying to go as more things get revealed. Like more stuff that got revealed in the last season was not as much plot details as much as like character details. Like, oh, we find out more about Ruby in this episode. Whereas this one, the first episode's like, we have to get the Book of the Dead. This episode, they get the Book of the Dead, but then it gets taken because Ash leaves it in the Delta, and these two asshole kids just steal his car and drive off. So it gets taken away again, but then we reveal why Ruby's Deadite kids are going after the book, and it's because they want to resurrect their father. Which, who is that? I don't know. I'm assuming he's a big deal, but we'll have to find out as the season progresses. So as much as this episode didn't really progress the story as much, it was very exposition heavy, it still moved it forward more so than some of the episodes did in the last season, and I really like that. I like that kind of change of pace with a bit more story focused, but still focusing on the insane over-the-top gore. Again, the scene in the morgue, just insanity. Love it. It was a really strong episode, a great episode that just, it keeps the game going. It ups the ante. It doesn't rehash any gags from other episodes. It has a lot of great Ash lines. So that's episode 2 of season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Just insane and awesome and just great as the show normally is. So that's about it for now. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.